Okay, this is Unit 8. It says Unit 8 and 9. I'm just going to shoot Unit 8, and then I'll do 9 in a separate one. Of Algebra 1, Semester 2, just preparing for the math final. Okay, so again, if any of this is really new information, you need to go back and really study the unit, study the lecture notes, and hopefully you were in class so that you got some of the in-class activities. Otherwise, probably need to spend some extra time tutoring and pursuing this in some Google searches. You can find some good stuff out there. Don't forget desmos.com. Very good site for you guys to find some stuff. Okay, so Moving Company is selling boxes for packaging items. The large box has a volume of this. Medium box has a volume of this. We're going to buy 2 large boxes, 1 medium box. What's the total volume? All we need to do is add those. So make sure that you get 2 of the large boxes. If we have 2 of those, that would be 12x cubed plus 4x squared plus 6. Now add 2 at a medium box, 2x cubed plus, be careful here, it's 8x, not 8x squared, so it would have to go between those 2 terms, minus 5. So we have 12x cubed plus 2x squared. That would be 14x cubed. These 2 answers right here are immediately out. They have added their exponent when they were adding terms, not multiplying. You only add exponents when you multiply. Now we have 4x squared. There's no other x squared term, so we have a plus 4x squared and a plus 8x, and you can spot our answer. Okay, finish the problem for your own good measure. I'm going to move on because I want time to upload this. What is the product of the binomials? Here is where you're making a box or foiling, however you choose. So r times r would be r squared. Negative 8 times r would be a negative 8r. Positive 5 times r is a positive 5r. And then negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Combine these 2 terms, negative 8 and a positive 5. It's a negative 3r. R squared minus 40. And we spot it right there. This doesn't have an r squared term. That's out. This has r squared and negative 40, but it doesn't have our middle term. And this, they added the middle terms. So they're all out. Always check the other answers. I want you always marking what's wrong with them. Increase your technical reading skills. What is simplified form of b plus 7 squared? I showed you a shortcut the other day on this. Perfect squares. I hope you remember. We square the first. You can foil this or box it if you don't remember this. Square the last. Then we take these, put them together. 7b times 2 would be positive 14b. Okay? So that gives us that answer. Next polynomial says, is it factorable? One factor is x plus 6. What is the other factor? Well, if we know 1 is x plus 6, we know that the last terms have to multiply to be 30, so it would be x plus 5. Okay? Now, could have it been x minus 5? Absolutely, if this ended up being 1 here. But your middle terms add together to be 11, so the minus puts that one out. And these were completely unreasonable. Okay? Next one. Which of the following is a factor of 3x squared minus 12? Well, again, you're factoring. So, what goes into both of these? 3. Pull that 3 out to the front and reduce. We have x squared minus 4. Now, I hope that you recognize that as a difference of 2 squares. You'd go, oh, that's a minus, that's a plus, x, root of 4 is 2 and 2 and 3. And now we can see the correct answer is that. Do not go with this, even though it's close to that. See, so many of you guys settle and get the wrong answer, even though you know the math. You just decide, oh, well, you know what, that's close enough. No, it's not. It's not the same thing. It's got to be exactly the same factor. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, which of the following is a factor of this? Well, we play our x game. You guys got really good at that. Negative 30 times 2 is negative 60. Now we have to think of our factors that would end up being 7. This could be a little bit challenging, so I'm going to show you what I do when I think of my factors. I break it down 6 and 10, 2 and 3, and 2 and 5. And then I just start grouping these. 6 and 10, well, first off, this is a negative number, so one's positive, one's negative, so I'm subtracting. 10 minus 6 would be 4. That's not going to work. So I need it a little bit bigger than 6. Let's go with 2 times 3 times 2. That would be 12. And then we have the 5 over here. 12 minus 5, ooh, I got lucky, 7. So now I have to remember the trick. Which one matches this sign? It's the one farther from 0. So 12 has a positive, that's negative. Old man glasses. Get our 4 terms. Don't forget, these carry the same variable as that middle one because they're replacing them. So we have 2x squared plus 12x minus 5x minus 30. Cover the back too. What's common here that can come out? We have 2x. We pull 2x to the front. What's left, we reduce. Reduce, what's left up there is an x. Reduce here, that would be a 6. Copy, paste. Bring down your negative. What times x is 5? 5. Factor out your x plus 6. The other factor would be 2x minus 5. Now, it says, which of the following is a factor? Either x plus 6 or 2x minus 5. Where is it? That's minus 6. There we go. X plus 6. Okay? Okay. What are the solutions to this? Well, in order to find the solutions, we have to set it to 0. And again, you're probably going to be factoring because you have 3 terms. You have that x as well as x squared. So x squared plus 8x. To get this over on this side, you'd have to subtract 84 on both sides. And we would have that. Put our negative 84. You need to really, really practice thinking of your different factors. I don't make it too awfully simple on this. So 84, break it down. It could be 4 and 21. Because this is negative, we know that they're going to be subtracting. Sorry, my lead keeps breaking. So one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. 21 minus 4, that's 17. That's not close to 8. Let's break it down again. 3 and 7. Let's go 3 and 4. That would be 12 times 7. Well, subtract those and we get 5. We've gone too far now. So let's break down the 4 to 2 and 2. Maybe we can grab the 2 and 3. Hook those two together. That would be 6. The 2 and 7 there would be 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. So we've got it there. The 14 being farther from 0 matches the 8. Bring down the variable. Actually, you don't need to bring down the variable. This is one of those that you can do the shortcut because there's a 1 out front. So we go straight to the answer. X minus 6 and x plus 14 equals 0. Now, they are asking for solutions, so that means set each of these to 0. That would mean x is going to equal positive 6. X is going to equal negative 14. So identify that, okay? Because we don't have a middle term here, when we go to solve this one, we can actually use square roots. Don't be freaked out when you get the fraction. We just added 49 to each side there. Divide by 16. X squared equals 49 over 16. Calm down. You're going to get a fraction. You're going to love it. Because we take the square root on this next step. Now remember, that's a plus or minus square root. And that's what gets the x by itself. And the square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 16 is 4. It's got to be a plus or minus 7/4 though, because of that square root. Remember, we've talked a lot about that one. Okay. Next thing. We've got a person jumping off a platform. Here's the formula that they give. They say that h is the height in feet. T represents the time in seconds that he's in the air. How many seconds does a person jump? So we're solving for t. It's just like up here when we solve for x. Trust me, quadratic word problems are some of the easiest because they're just simply asking you, what do the different letters mean? And what are you really looking for? So read the explanations. Okay, so we want to solve this. Negative 16t squared plus 4t plus 6. I'm just put the 0 over on this side, easier to solve in my brain that way. First thing that I do, whoa, I almost missed this. We've got to factor out that negative. We want to factor off that negative. So we take, in fact, we could take a negative 2 out of there. Let's do that. So we'd have 8t squared minus 2t plus, whoops, not plus, minus 3 equals 0. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And our two factors would be 6 and 4. 6 being the negative. So we have 8t squared minus 6t plus 4t minus 3 equals 0. Please go back and study your factoring if I just lost you in that. Divide by 2t. So 2t comes to the front. We have 4t minus 3. Copy paste 4t minus 3. What do I need to multiply it by? Positive 1. So we have 2t plus 1 and 4t minus 3 equals 0. Well, that means we need to set each of those to 0. So 2t plus 1 equals 0. Well, we'd subtract 1, we'd have 2t equals 1, negative 1. Divide by 2, t equals a negative 1/2. Does it make any sense to have a negative time? I hope it does not. So even though that is the same answer, it doesn't make sense. Don't choose it. Doesn't answer the question. It's asking how many seconds after he jumps off the platform is he going to hit the water. Okay, 4t minus 3 would be 4t minus 3 equals 0. Add 3 to each side, 4t equals 3. Divide by 4, t equals 3/4. 3/4 of a second right there. Here they got them flipped. And here, 2 seconds, that's just not right. Okay? Let's go down to the graph. It says, whoa, that's Unit 9. That's the end of Unit 8. Thank you very much.